back already. I deleted some things on my phone, like so I can record my part two before I forget or don't want to do it. Um, let's see where I left off at. I left off when I was in intuition, mind game, da da da. DC3 came back. So I come back feeling awkward, da da da. Didn't feel comfortable. And then, eventually I did start smoking marijuana again. And then when I did, I started to feel like I had to help people, help them because I knew things that other people didn't. So I try to reach out and help people. And so I usually like give people hugs, shake their hands, or I would hold both of their hands. And I would try to absorb their energy, their negative energy, and put my positive energy into them, if that makes sense. But so I'm doing these things. I'm being unusually weird. I get on medication too, just so you know. When I came back, I'm doing good, whatever, for like 2, 3 months. And then the lady said you can get off the meds, stop using it because she said I could get off them. And then knowing the system, she claimed she didn't. But um, yeah, so and then I started seeing things more in depth and then more in tune. I started to really communicate with other animals, I guess, but they wasn't digging me, like they wasn't with me. I felt like they was like passive and they was avoiding me type thing, and I just feel like certain ones wasn't trying to get around me because you know what I was going through. So I was trying to reach out on a low, and but I stopped at the same time. Like I was reaching out, but I wasn't because I didn't want to force anything or I didn't want to trigger me going back. But eventually, I did one back because I did thought I had a purpose inside there, the institution, where I could help save them who lost their mind, like I did. So I try to find a way, but also when I'm trying to find a way, it didn't happen because I wanted to. It actually happened because it felt like it was meant to happen. I don't know. It was like a sign. It was like, well, you want to go back? Well, I'm gonna put you back, And I just ran out the house one morning, these like months and stuff going on at the time. I'm 26, about to be 27 in a month from now. Um, this happened in 2017, a little bit in 16, but mostly in 17. I go out the house, run. Brother try to stop me. Other brothers try to stop me. But some deep down were telling me, run, like go. I never felt like I needed to throw up in my life when running. And I just felt sick. Like I had to get away. So I'm running, I'm running. I had a robe on or whatever. Because it was early in the morning. I had a robe with some joggers. And so I got a robe on, running. And I took off the jogging pants, kept my boxers on, uh, took off the shirt. Only reason I took them two things off because, and my shoes, because it was all fabric. Like I was like, get this shit off me, like this stuff off me because um, I felt like people made it from scratch or hand or whatever. So I was being exceptional, kind of delusional on that. But certain brands I don't agree with. So I try not to rock real brands, to be honest, because I don't know their true backstory and their history of how they made their shit, and shit like that. Some people, you know, really like shed blood over that shit. And so I'm running, took off the jogging pants, took off the shirt, had boxers with a rope, and old lady sees me. She said, "You need to go anywhere? I can take you where you need to be." I'm like, "What? No, I'm good." And then I kept it pushing. And then I started thinking about going to my ex crib. But I had a dream about my ex before that, and it was a dream about a shadow figure, like of a person, was laying in the same bed with her. So I'm like, she got consumed. She's done. So I turned around when I was going to a crib, turned around. And then before that, after the ill lady, another lady, construction lady, tried to reach out to me. "You need help?" Woo. I'm like, "No, I'm good." Walking down the street. Then I turned around. They was making cement, black cement. It was a hot summer day. The cement was scalding hot. I'm tweaking, so I decided to walk on that shit. My feet are scorching hot, like burning. Like I'm literally like burning my skin, walking on like new concrete that's freshly hot, settling down, getting, you know, and then turn around, about to go back to the crib, and this is what I'm saying. This wasn't my intention to really go back, but it happened. But yeah, I was tweaking, but at the same time, it happened. I'm walking back, then police came out of nowhere, woo, and then approached me, say, "You gotta get in the car." I'm like, "I ain't going nowhere." Ooh, and then dude tried to slam me. I'm standing my ground. I'm like 130. Wait, standing my ground. Boom. He tried to slam me. Couldn't slam me. Another police came out of nowhere. Both of them trying to slam me. Can't slam me. Dude started kneeing my stomach. Another police tried to slam me. Couldn't slam me. So they all decided, another police came. So they decided to lift me in the air. Never got me on the ground. They got me in the air. My hand behind my back, I think. Or no, they grabbed me like cuffed me like right here and grabbed my feet, put them together. So I was like cuffed, and then somebody had the feet. So and then I knew they was on bullshit. So when they put me in the cop car, they gonna hit my head like I felt attention. Then bam, and then threw me in, and then yeah, then I'm in the cop car, whatever. It's like the the sheriff. It's the like 4 different cars. But when I was walking, I was indecisive. Like I was really indecisive at the time. Like I couldn't make no decisions for myself. I was reaching out to someone, anyone. So I started reaching out to God. I started praying, and I was just reaching out, reaching out, reaching out. Couldn't really find nothing. Nothing came to me, but and then I started looking at I remember looking at the telephone poles, like the cords, like go poles, cord, electric thing. And I started seeing the shadow. I'm like, they can read. This is what I'm going through. This is what I'm thinking. They can read everything I do because they got instant transmission. Like, and then I felt like their source of let's call it their source of information came from other animals, other than because if you really think about it, I think birds was really telling my information. I don't like birds. They cool, whatever, but I don't like them. This some real shit. I'm just gonna put it out there. So and so the birds telling my information, whatever. But that's more later down the line when I started look at them a little different. But, and then, yeah, so I get in the cop car or whatever. Then I go to the hospital. I'm acting asleep the whole time. Listen to what they saying, whatever. They cut the robe I had on. Just cut it. They didn't want to take it off. They just cut it. And cut it to pieces, like just random pieces. And I kept the robe after all that. They put it in what belonged to me when I went to the institution and kept the robe. I had it for about a year or two, and I finally just threw it away. But yeah, I'm in a what's called you're talking about. I already been in an institution before. We should put them back in what's called institution. And then I'm just sitting on the bed, laying on the bed, strapped down, whatever. And the only reason big thing about me, I don't make eye contact, so I'm ain't gonna look at the video like just staring it down like that. I do in some of my other videos, like when I make videos on Snapchat, but it's a little different for me. Yeah, I've never been a person really look people in the face, but when I did start it too when I got back in the institution again. But back to the hospital. So they were talking about getting me back to what's called they started putting me in a wheelchair, started taking me out. Instantly my mind said, do not move or I'm gonna get shot. So I didn't move. I let it be. When I got in the cop car, I didn't move. I acted like I was asleep. They kept on driving, and I didn't want to move in the cop car because we was in the middle of nowhere. I ain't trying to take no risk. So because anything can happen, so shit like that. But so I get to the institution again, and then after I try to reach out to people, I put my hand on their shoulder. I was trying to show them like, don't worry, you're good, everything gonna be alright. Just have faith, believe, whatever. I'm not really a Christian, but I am very, very spiritual. But I don't know if I'm a Christian. But Christians, they more like got a rule to it, so I don't really know. So it's complicated for me. So I just say I'm spiritual for sure. I just believe in heaven and hell, God, devil, demons, angels. I believe in all that. But I just don't believe in the way you gotta live as a Christian. In a way, not saying it's wrong. Not saying I'm wrong. But because that's where I grew up off. I was going there. It's a little judgmental, like it's a little judging in that, and I just didn't feel comfortable. But I did try to go to the church again after I got out. But I'm just rambling really fast because I'm trying to get everything in this second video, and hopefully you stand with me. I'm trying to stay focused on everything. That's just who I am. I'm very random, and I like to work around things that's on my mind. But it's like I got all these pieces coming, and it's a piece of this category, a piece of this category, but at the end it's gonna be the whole story. So that's how I am. That's how I think. That's how I process. That's how I do things. So yeah, I'm in the cop car, get to the institution, still acting asleep. Take a picture of me, look kind of messed up. Seen a picture afterwards. I just look slumped over and wild, messy hair, dreads still. Blind yellow, one of them. But getting into again, touching the shoulders. One person I touched on the shoulder, he turned around and he swung, boom, whacked me in the jaw. I kept my hand on his shoulder when he did it, and then he whacked me like 2-3 more times, like real combat, bam, bam, right. And I was staring at him. I'm like, and the whole time I'm thinking, this what I'm supposed to be doing, like. This is what I was meant to do, because I feel like I got a purpose as this progressed more and more. So I started to really, try to reach out to my purpose, because I don't really know my purpose. Nowadays I really, really don't. But I never really knew it before, and I just thought I found one when I went through that. And then, I got fascinated to reading things on the wall, like pictures, random pictures, whatever, and shit like that. So I don't like to cuss like that. That's probably the main cuss word I say is shit. But yeah, I'm reading pictures on the wall. I stopped and stare, and then one day they was on BS. You can't stand here. we in the hallway, like whatever in that institution. You can't stand here, but I could walk back and forth all day. I could do whatever, but I couldn't stand there. So, boom, I walk away. They was on BS with me the whole time. I ran into a door because I thought one of the other persons telepathically telling me to run and break out. But I was already had that on my mind, but he was telling me, hey, it's the door right there. Run and smash it. Like, we talking about. It was a far run, but I ran fast as heck. And I ran into the door. And I jumped, boom, put a shoulder into it. I chipped the glass. And I know the glass wasn't breakable because if it was breakable, it would broke. And it's an institution that wanted to break. So it's like plastic glass. And it chipped. Like it cracked. And I was kind of surprised when I seen that, but my lungs went out because I hit it so hard that out my chest. I was like, damn. Ooh. So I just laid on the ground. A couple of the people held me down, but they was easy on that moment because I was really not fighting back. I was just trying to breathe at that moment. But it was a couple times when they held me down. One time they held me down and I was trying to break my jaw. It sounds weird. Yeah, I'm going through it. You know, it's a hard life. When you go through a mental breakdown and really like messing with when it's other people around you and they got what they going through and they tell you this and tell you that, and then you seeing how they doing things and you doing your thing, and then you believe this and they believe that, and if some people do believe in negative energy too or stuff in that nature, like they would literally test you and see what you know, so they playing my game, whispering and shit like that next to you and shit like that. So I'm battling that. And then you know, I was doing good, participating in every event. Ooh, started feeling better. They started to eject me with something, but I had to take it. If I didn't, they would forcefully hold me down, and I didn't like that. And then I got me on random medications, sleeping medications, that and stuff like that. And they didn't know what was going on with me, so they just laid me as a schizophrenic. They tried to give me a priest or whatever. I said, I don't want to talk to you guys. I don't really believe in, like, I believe in it, but I ain't gonna talk to a priest that potentially be overran by somebody with negative energy, because this is how it is. But because bad could be good and good could be bad. It's like the yin yang. They gotta I've learned that the little circle and the yin yangs, you know how they go together. The little circle symbolize they got potential to be good or bad. So the white that got the black and the black got the white can become black and the black can become white. So that being said, I don't know who's on my side. You know, so I'm going through this world, doing my thing, whatever. Still to this day, it's kind of complicated for me, you know, definitely with the ring in my hair. And it only comes up when I talk. And I don't know if that's good or bad. You know, possibly it could be good, but it could be bad trying to stop me from doing good. You know what I'm saying? So it's complicated for me. So get out of that institution the second time. Go to DC3 the second time. I stayed in DC3. I did what I had to do this time. I stayed with the program. Went to the program, went to a house. It was like a little group house, whatever. Then went to group house. And with other people I had to pay rent. And then, I was meeting people along the way. Still going through it. Started looking into the sky a lot more. And I started seeing my creativity in clouds, whatever. And boom, boom. Get to my own place. Now this is part 3, but I should end it right here. Part 3 is 4 years of my life of in this crib where I'm at right now. And I guess what I'm going to say from there is basically my progress and how I've been managing and coping with everything.